Hello and welcome to TechWatch, the EdTech video news program produced by eSchool News. I'm Dennis Pierce. Students are taught to believe that earning a high school diploma means they're prepared to enter college, and many policymakers still believe that multiple choice assessments are adequate measures of students' skills. But at a panel discussion convened by the Alliance for Excellent Education last month, researchers and education professionals explained why this is too often not the case, and what school leaders can do about it. eSchool News Assistant Editor Maris Stansbury has the story.
Building on the findings of a recent Alliance issue brief, education leaders met to discuss what they call a disconnect between the way high schools prepare today's students for the future and what colleges will demand from them.
The brief is very, very timely. If you notice that the House Committee discussion draft, the House of Education, the Education Committee's discussion draft, called for standards that prepare students for college and work, not just high standards, which was the last version in NCLB.
While some would blame teachers for the disconnect, Stanford University's Linda Darling-Hammond said there are other factors involved besides instructional methods.
Not shaped by teachers' views themselves. Teachers are, in fact, a lot of the attention needs to be paid to state departments of education, test makers, and others who shape the standards, which in our country are a mile wide and an inch deep in many, many states, that shape the curriculum requirements that teachers have to teach to, and that shape the tests that they're trying to prepare kids for. And so we really need to be thinking about the whole policy structure as we think about what's going to shape high school teaching.
Another problem is mixed expectations, said Columbia's Doug Wood.
We have a curriculum for college, a college track for students, and we also have a vocational track. So what ends up happening is, if you do, which we did, analysis of those children who are in the vocational track, we found that large percentages of those children were kids of color and kids in poverty. And so even from a structural standpoint around curriculum, there's no agreed upon, for example, universal pathway that we expect all kids to be able to do.
One solution to the problem could be better teacher induction, said English teacher Kim McClung.
In California, they have programs that provide a full year residency, so to speak, and that's huge because you can go through a good teaching program and you can gain the cultural competency and have the best subject area knowledge in the world. But then imagine yourself being 23 years old and dropped in a classroom, and all of a sudden you've got 30 kids staring at you, and all of the theory in the world goes out the window. And you have to now take all of these ideas that you received in your training and put them into practice. And first-year teachers feel like this, and I felt like this my first year of teaching. It's like, okay, here's your classroom, you're teaching 9th grade English, see you in June.
Panelists ended the discussion by listing 2 or 3 policies they'd like to see change. ACT's Cindy Schmeiser called for better alignment of standards and skills among high schools, colleges, and employers.
My number one is alignment. I want to go back to how important it is that we align the system to post-secondary and workforce training readiness from that point all the way down to K, because what we haven't done, even when states say, hey, we've adopted our college and work readiness standards, but have they translated them into course level standards in high school and grade level standards from K through 8? Probably not. So we really have to talk about a fully aligned system that does impact and does provide clear standards, particularly in high school, by course, so that we know an Algebra 1 course is in fact teaching Algebra 1, and we can address some of the rigor problems that we're seeing.
The Alliance hopes its issue brief will serve as a wake-up call for policymakers and education leaders in high schools and colleges nationwide. For eSchool News, I'm Maris Stansbury.
eSN TV, your #1 source for video news and information from North America's leading EdTech publications, from the world's foremost EdTech website, the eSchool News Network, America's EdTech authority. Watch eSN TV Encounter the field's most fascinating personalities, the innovators who are turning the old school into the e-school. Watch eSN TV. Meet notable educators, advocates, and leaders. Watch eSN TV. Get real-time coverage of EdTech's most important gatherings. Stay up to the minute. Get the EdTech news and information you need to succeed. Watch eSchool News TV.